Hello, YouTubers. Here's Joe Kersey on Saturday, December 1st, 2018 at 16:22 in the afternoon Eastern Time. And I've got this really neat app on my phone called AccuRadio. So before YouTube gets its panties in a wad about copyright violation, I'll turn this off. But I got thinking the other day, I thought I really ought to be able to listen to classical music off my phone all day if I wanted to. Because you hear guys talking about, oh, I'm listening to my music on my phone. Oh, hell, I can do that too, if I know how to do it. Of course, I don't want to listen to, some guy talking about, took my bitch down to the park and banged her against a tree, and then I shot some dude for screwing me out of the key or something, I don't want to listen to that. Meanwhile, God bless us, old Pinot Noir, undiluted. Yes, I will drink the Pinot undiluted if I can. Well, it's barefoot one, which means it's Gallo, which is perfect. It's perfectly good. $11 a bottle for 1.5 liters. I'm not gonna bitch about that one. So I've had this thing plugged into the power cable in my bedroom and in my living room here during the day, and it's just been playing music all day long, all day long, all day long, all day long. It's just been wonderful. I'll tell you, it's like I used to have my stereo, my big stereo, the 400-watt. Let's burn up electricity all day long thing playing like that. And I'll tell you, really, talking about gentling the savage beast, it really, really helps. So glad I ran into that. It's free, AccuRadio. And I've got all sorts of genres. But I've got like the the Baroque and the classical and the sacred choral music and Mozart, and then they have like 2 classical things. There's one that makes it a point of playing the entire work, not just like a movement of it. Basically, I want to hear the whole thing if I'm going to listen to something. You wake up at night, and you look, here it is. Oh, it's great, And then you go back to sleep, and then you wake up again. And it's like, oh, it's great. I was able to do that when I was at university, college, for those of us in the United States, and well, I told you about this WLWAM radio show called Music to Dawn between 12 and 5 in the morning when I was a kid, between the ages of like 7 and 11 or 7 and 12. And it was AM radio, and I had my little transistor radio right against my ear, and they played classical music all night long. I would have listened to music all night long once I was able to get into my sister's bedroom. Well, then which became my bedroom after she got married and moved out of the house. Except that if I played it loud enough to hear without being right against my ear, because I didn't have, by that time my little transistor died. It would have, because of the way the room was set up. My room was essentially a closet, a common closet through to my parents' bedroom. So it was every bit as loud or noisy or susceptibly being heard, as that little walled-off area I had when I was, up to the age of 14 in their bedroom. But that made their married life interesting and made my private stimulatory life interesting too. Basically, sleepovers are out of the question, except for one time. Then my dad walked in on us. I've mentioned that before. Yeah, haven't had much luck in those areas. But that's neither here nor there. I just shaved, not only for you, but for the people at church tomorrow. I'm reading at church tomorrow, and I don't want to take an extra 10 minutes in the morning, since I'm reading at early church, to horse around doing that, because if I wake up feeling like hell, I want to spend 10 minutes trying to get over feeling like hell, It was actually a pretty good day today after I was up for 5 hours, so who knows? The barometric pressure's down. That always helps me a lot. I know it's contrary. It's counterintuitive. I've plowed this ground way many times before. So last night, Tony Ballman and I Skyped a bit. Night for me. Well, late afternoon for me. I guess he's off to Florida tomorrow. Well, or today. He's got some real estate affairs to tend to down there, that involve his family and so forth. Okay. And I guess, meanwhile, a friend of his from Seattle is coming down to stay in the pool house for a while. So I guess he's going to arrive after Tony leaves. I don't know. Anyway, Jim's going to be there. So, and then my other Tony friend, Tony Pincham, over in Worksop, Nottinghamshire, he's going to go over to his sister. Actually, he's already at his sister's in Sheffield. And they're going to go on one of their big shopping, pre-Christmas shopping things. Now, Tony claims he's got everything all bought. But he says he's always going to keep an eye out, which I know, I have a feeling this is not going to be the last thing this man buys for Christmas this year. But, he WhatsApped, audio phoned me the other day, and actually, I don't know if Paul was here doing his laundry or not. Well, anyway, yeah, I think he was. So, I don't know. It doesn't matter, and that's not germane. Anyway, so got to talk with Ann. I love to talk with Ann. Ann's so great. He's got a great family. I mean, his sister's great, and her husband's great. And, Ann's daughter and daughter-in-law is great, and then they've got a great child, Lexi Ann. It's great. I mean, it's neat family. Couldn't talk to George. George is out. He drives one of these long-distance trucks all over England, so he hadn't gotten home yet. Friday night. He's probably home now. So he says maybe we'll Skype tomorrow. Maybe we'll Skype Monday. Initially, it said we won't Skype till Monday, but he was leaving the door open yesterday. So. I've gotten very nice comments on the video where Thomas and Carter and I are doing the BB gun thing, or the pellet gun thing more properly. Well, it's both BB and pellet gun. It's a Crossman, product. I have the same gun, but I've shot mine a lot more. So when I was pissing and moaning about how hard it was to pump the thing, I mean, that's because I'd pumped mine a lot. I had pumped mine a lot longer than Thomas had pumped his. Oh, did that sound bad? Oh, speaking of which, here's kind of like the set piece rant. No, 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 no. I don't do set piece rants. I talk about things as they come to mind. Now, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, Oh, by the way, this is my 6th anniversary on YouTube. My very first YouTube video went up on December 1st, 2012. It's been 6 years. And I think we're up around 1578 or 1580 videos, maybe a little bit more. I would never have thought that. I thought, well, I'll do a couple of these things just so I can experiment, and then that's going to be it. No, 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 no. No, no. I was off. Now, admittedly, it took me until February to get an actual camera, of Canon 320 HS. I got the computer in August, but it took me to the middle of December to learn how to copy and paste. Because none of these books tell you how to copy and paste. They say, well, just copy and paste this, copy and paste that. I finally, almost had to kidnap my friend, my cattle farmer friend, and say, oh, you explain to me how to do this. Don't keep telling me to copy and paste stuff. Because I don't know how to do it. I didn't even really honestly, I didn't actually quite know what he meant. And my son always kept, oh, well, it's easy. No, it's not. If you don't know how to do it, it's not easy. Of course, once you're shown, did a fair amount of copying and pasting today when I did the prayer list. The first of the month, you put out the prayer list. Well, I put out the prayer list. So now wait a minute. Let's not get too sidetracked here. Talking about this, talking about that. I may just have to come back to y'all for a moment. This probably should be edited out as a standalone video, but since it came up today and it was part of today, the 1st of December, Saturday, 2018. Given my desire to be sort of historically true, although sometimes I do thematic things and skip around a bit, but not often. Now, see, I'm already starting to lose the trend of thought. No, 2 words, Santa Claus. Now, in the Daily Mail today, and indeed I think it actually filtered over into the Daily Telegraph, there was a certain amount of brouhaha about, it was in the Daily Mail, yes, in the Daily Mail, yeah, and I guess some New Jersey substitute teacher had gone into the classroom with, didn't say what age kids, but I got the impression they were at least, these weren't, 6-year-olds. I mean, these were like, 7, 8, 9. I mean, these weren't like kindergarten kids. And it doesn't matter what age group these kids were, as far as I'm concerned. See, I'm a firm believer in that adults, particularly parents, the people that you as a child are supposed to trust, for the bulk of your, formative years, certainly up to around, 14, 15, 16, Ideally longer, but if they tell you something, it's true. And that was the case in my house. Except for one long-term egregious lie. Now, don't y'all start comparing my not coming out to being a lie, because it was a lie, but that's not the same kind of lie I'm talking about. That's a serious-ass lie. That's a serious-ass lie that could destroy lives. This lie won't destroy lives, but what it does do is it destroys trust. Let's say that again. This doesn't destroy lives, it destroys trust. My lie didn't destroy trust, although some people claim it did. But it could have well destroyed lives, i.e. my life and other people's lives around me. Thank you very much. For those of you who have just started watching this channel, it's me coming out as gay when I was 28 and being in the closet till I was 28. We've ridden that horse into the ground. But now back to Santa Claus. I always liked the way my dad always called that, Santa Claus. My folks really, they didn't lie to me. I mean, once I learned not to lie to them, which was around age 10, because they found out every time I lied to them, and they made it really, really horrible for me. So this is not worth the effort. I'm just going to tell the truth from now on. And after that, I've told the truth the rest of my life, except for having to live a lie as a closeted gay man. Leaving that aside, this has nothing to do with Santa Claus. So they of course told me, well, no, I shouldn't say, of course. That's what surprised me. They did. They told me that Santa Claus existed. I don't know if they did the full, down the. Well, we had a chimney. I mean, they could have done the full thing, We even left out the cookies and milk and all that horse shit. Up until the time I was 9 years old. 9 years old! I was no fool. I was reading at a college level. I mean, and yet, you've got me believing in this bullshit? When I finally found out that was a lie, I felt so betrayed. I felt so angry. It took me a number of. I'm clearly not quite over it yet. Some guy in the Wall Street Journal says, "Well, grow up and get a life." Well, guess what, dude? I have grown up and I have gotten a life, a hell of a life, and I don't like being lied to by my parents, and I dare say a lot of kids are not going to like being lied to by their parents about this in the future. Now, maybe I'm full of BS and hot air, and if so, so be it. But I sure as heck didn't like that. When I found out, I felt like a fool. I felt like a fool. I'll tell you, I do not like being made to feel like a fool. I can be mistaken. I can be wrong. But if I give it my fucking best shot on the evidence presented to me, I am not a fool. I really resented that. To the age of 9, I could see maybe up to like 5 or 6. Come on. 5 or 6, okay, that's fine. All right. 9? I can't believe I bought into that. I must have been beguiled. Maybe medical marijuana was in Ohio before I knew it. Maybe Mike DeWine, hadn't been born yet or something. Well, I have always resented being lied to, and I know I'm in a minority opinion here. I know that people are gonna be clicking off. I can hear them clicking off all over YouTube. I was leaving these comments on the Daily Mail and the Daily Telegraph, and you hear the red arrows coming down. Which, just imagine how little I care on that. But it's like, uh, and people say, well, other people said to me, well, why didn't you figure it out? I said, because my parents told me that was the way it was. And I trusted my parents. No, that's true. No, I mean, it wasn't like it hadn't occurred to me about, 4 years earlier that maybe this was kind of idiotic. But, I thought, my parents wouldn't be telling me it's true unless it were true. So then I felt like, kind of like doubly lied to and betrayed, after I'd sort of gone against what, quite honestly, my own common sense was telling me. I felt like an idiot. I felt like a fool. I don't like being made to... Listen, I can be wrong. I can misinterpret. I have no problem with doing that. I've done that many times in my life. But, come on. So that's why I really resented this whole Santa Claus bullshit. Now, as far as the bunny rabbit and the Easter this and all that bullshit, nobody ever presented that to me as being real. And I never would have taken that as being real anyway. Easter's about our Lord Jesus Christ rising from the dead. Not about some fucking rabbit. Actually, Easter was a bigger deal for us in terms of presents. That's not quite true, actually. Easter was always more fun for me because, one, it was concentrated on the religious holiday. And we had the thing where we did the 2 strings down the, or like a couple of presents on the strings for my sister and myself. And we'd go down, we'd follow the strings, and there wasn't any of this tree, there wasn't this coercion to be happy. It was just like, oh, thanks. See, that's the way Christmas ought to be. Those big tree shit. Some people like that, though. It gives them joy. But God forbid that I ever deprive somebody from joy. No, I'm serious. I sound sarcastic when I say it, but I'm very serious when I say it. No, people want joy, get joy. That should be a motto. If you want joy, get joy. Really? I always sound sarcastic or being serious. When I'm being serious, I'm probably being serious. When I sound serious, I'm probably being sarcastic. When I sound serious, I'm probably being sarcastic. Anyway, I'm reading on, I thought I had read the first Sunday in Advent for year C, but apparently not. So I printed off the stuff. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go on a Sunday morning, and they're starting a men's group. I'm in just a men's group at 6:30 in the morning and to 7:30 on a Tuesday, and I'm thinking, who the fuck are you going to get out at 6:30 in the morning on a Tuesday to go to the church at 6? I don't know. I mean, you're not going to get me. Even if I were physically able to do that crap, I don't know if I would do that anyway. Plus, I don't think there's a lot of these guys that are going to go to this men's group that I would have a lot of common with. Although I'd probably know them all. And they're all nice guys. I mean, they're all good guys. And basically, they all pretty much know about me anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, see, there it is. See how talking through shit works? Well, I'm gonna. Well, I'm not that hungry, but I've got plenty of food, thanks be to God. And I spent a lot of time last night awake reading Jeremy McCullough's Cromwell because, quite frankly, I couldn't put the book down because it was so compelling. So I encourage you to buy Jeremy McCullough's Cromwell. There aren't that many books that come along in a lifetime that are that good. So I would love to meet this man. I would love to hear this man lecture and go up and shake his hand and fun. That's not the question. I mean, he sometimes he comes to the United States. I go to the UK, so that's not the question. I might be able to see the guy. So. Meet the guy. I mean, just shake his hand, talk to him a bit. I mean, I always regret. No, I didn't regret, but if I had not gone to medical school, I would have tried to become I can't say I'd go so far as to say a professional research historian, but a professional storytelling historian based on research that I could easily find. Yeah, I know, some's going to be secondary, but you to have any credibility, you got to have a little bit of primary source stuff on your material. Bob Taylor always said that. Well, if you look, he said, this guy doesn't have much primary source stuff, his bibliography. One of the first things I look at in a book is the bibliography and the notes. Now, I'm going to give you I'm dragging this on needlessly long, but it's true. If I've talked up this Cromwell book so much, I need to give you my only true criticism of it. In that, if you compare the Cromwell book's endnotes to the Cranmer's, his Cranmer book endnotes, which were separated out, so each note had a number so that you could sort of see a space. All the notes in this one sort of run together in a mass, and obviously they've done that just to save money, but it makes it really, really unreadable. Now, I'll also say that in these notes, there aren't as many neat stories in them that I've been able to see that were in the Cranmer notes. So if there are not a lot of neat stories in these notes, then I guess, it's a balance out. It may not make that much difference. But just for those of you who are really expecting great, but, you've got to read the body of the book. I mean, so, don't eschew the body of the book just because of the endnotes being in a crappy typological format. There. How's that? So I'll say bye-bye, YouTube.